Episode 3, The Web of Deceit, Uncovering the Epstein-Maxwell Connection. In our previous episodes, we explored the world of Jeffrey Epstein and his connections to some of the most powerful people in the world. But one of the most important and intriguing aspects of the Epstein saga is his relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Describing jail as living hell, the British socialite is facing life behind bars, accused of recruiting underage girls for billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Maxwell has always denied the charges, but her fate will soon be in the hands of a jury, with the sensational trial set to begin next week.
Ghislaine Maxwell was Epstein's longtime girlfriend and associate, as she has been accused of playing a central role in his sex trafficking operation. But who was Ghislaine Maxwell? And how did she become embroiled in Epstein's world? In this episode, we will be taking a closer look at the Epstein-Maxwell connection. We will examine the evidence, look at the key witnesses and experts, and provide a detailed analysis and the implications of their relationship.
Prosecutors say that she recruited and groomed 4 girls between 1994 and 2004 for Epstein, her longtime associate and former boyfriend. Before the judge read the sentence, Maxwell spoke to the court and the victims, but remained defiant, saying, quote, "I am sorry for the pain that you experienced. I hope my conviction and harsh incarceration brings you pleasure."
Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime girlfriend and associate, who has been accused of helping him recruit and groom his victims. Her association with Jeffrey Epstein is a complex and intriguing one. The exact nature of their relationship has been difficult to pin down, with some describing them as romantic partners, business associates, or best friends. What is clear, however, is that Maxwell was deeply embroiled in Epstein's life and activities. She was a frequent presence at his side. It was known to have introduced him to many of the young women who would later become his victims. Maxwell's own background fascinating and provides some insight into how she became involved with the Epstein empire. Born into a wealthy and influential family, Maxwell was well connected and well educated. She was also, by many accounts, deeply insecure and attention-seeking. It's been long suggested that Maxwell's relationship with Epstein was motivated, at least in part, by a desire to be wealthy and have high status. Epstein, with his vast fortune and influential connections, was able to offer Maxwell a level of luxury and sophistication that she may not have been able to achieve on her own. But Maxwell's involvement with Epstein went far beyond mere social climbing.
Prosecutors say that she recruited and groomed 4 girls between 1994 and 2004 for Epstein, her longtime associate and former boyfriend.
She was, by many accounts, a key player in his sex trafficking operation, helping to recruit and groom young women for his abuse. Maxwell's own demise. Maxwell's own denials of wrongdoing have been inconsistent and unpersuasive. In a 2019 interview, she claimed to have had no knowledge of Epstein's abuse, despite having been a frequent presence at his homes and on his private jet. The evidence suggests otherwise. Multiple victims have come forward to accuse Maxwell of playing a direct role in their abuse, and court documents have revealed a trail of incriminating emails and financial records. In the end, Maxwell's association with Epstein has left her with a permanent stain on her reputation. Her attempts to distance herself from his crimes have been unsuccessful, as she is now facing serious criminal charges related to her role in the sex trafficking operation. As we delve deeper into the Epstein-Maxwell connection, we will be exploring the complex web of relationships and deceit that enabled Epstein's crimes to go undetected for so long. We will examine the evidence, look at the key witnesses and experts, and provide a detailed analysis of the implications of their relationship, as well as the implications of the other ones that have helped to enable Jeffrey Epstein to keep building that empire. So join me again for the next episode, and thank you for listening. Episode 4, The Connection Between Jean-Luc Brunel and Jeffrey Epstein. Jean-Luc Brunel's association with Jeffrey Epstein is a complex and disturbing one. While Brunel has consistently denied any wrongdoing, there are several connections between the two men that have raised suspicions about Brunel's involvement in Epstein's sex trafficking operation. Brunel and Epstein's relationship dates back to the early 2000s, when Epstein began investing in Brunel's modeling agency. The name of that agency is MC2. At the time, MC2 was struggling financially, and Epstein's investment was seen as a lifeline for the agency. However, it's said that Epstein's investment came with strings attached. Several of Epstein's victims have come forward alleging that Brunel supplied Epstein with young girls, often recruited from Brunel's modeling agency.
Jean-Luc Brunel is a French model scout and former modeling agency manager. He gained prominence by leading the modeling agency Karen Models and founded MC2 Model Management, with financing by Jeffrey Epstein, and which had offices in New York, Miami, and Tel Aviv. The subject of a 60 Minutes investigation in 1988, Brunel has faced allegations of sexual assault spanning 3 decades. He has come under heavy scrutiny for his business ties to the late financier Jeffrey Epstein, with whom he worked from the early 2000s to 2015. Brunel denied the allegations and, as of July 2020, had not been criminally charged.
One of the most prominent accusers is Virginia Gulf, who alleges that Brunel and Epstein worked together to traffic young girls for sex. Gulf has alleged that Brunel raped her on multiple occasions when she was just 17 years old. Other victims have also come forward with similar allegations, including one woman who alleges that Brunel and Epstein forced her to have sex with Prince Andrew, a close friend of Epstein's.
It kind of worked like a pyramid scheme. Ghislaine brought me in. I brought other girls in. Those girls brought other girls in. And no matter what, Jeffrey constantly had that open revolving door of young women, young teenagers, children, I like to call them, coming through his door for one purpose and one purpose alone.
In 2020, Brunel was indicted in France on charges of rape and sexual assault of minors. This indictment was a result of a lengthy investigation into Brunel's activities, which included interviews with multiple victims and witnesses. However, Brunel's trial was never completed. In February 2022, Brunel was found dead in his prison cell awaiting trial. The circumstances surrounding his death are still unclear, but it's been reported that he was found dead with no signs of foul play.
Millionaire Jeffrey Epstein and the prominent French modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel over alleged sex crimes. Brunel was charged with rape of minors over the age of 15 and sexual harassment, according to a statement from the prosecutor's office. He was initially detained on Wednesday at Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport as he was about to board a flight to Senegal. Epstein, who was arrested in New York in July of 2019 on charges of trafficking underage girls for sex, was found hanged in his New York jail cell the following month while awaiting trial over abuses involving girls at his Palm Beach home and on his private island in the Caribbean. His ownership of an apartment in an upmarket Paris district and allegations from women who say they were abused in France prompted French prosecutors to open their own investigation.
The Paris prosecutor's office has confirmed to NBC News that a former modeling agent linked to Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his prison cell this morning. The office says that it appeared Jean-Luc Brunel, quote, died by suicide because he was discovered dead from hanging himself with his sheets.
He's dead, you know. I had really a goal, you know, to see him in court and to tell him exactly, you know, what he did to me, what he took from me. I still can't believe it, you know. It's frustrating. I'm in shock, you know, because for 2.5 years I've been fighting together with other survivors of Brunel, you know, to get a trial, you know, to get some form of justice, and now that's gone. A trial would be some form of closure also, and that's taken away from us. I have really questions for the French Justice Department, you know. How is it possible that a man like Brunel can commit suicide?
The association between Brunel and Epstein serves as a reminder of the darker side of the fashion industry, the exploitation and abuse of young models, often vulnerable and far from home. is a scandal that has been swept under the rug for far too long. As we reflect on the complex and disturbing relationship between Jean-Luc Brunel and Jeffrey Epstein, it's clear that there are still many unanswered questions. But one thing is certain: the fashion industry must do more to protect its most vulnerable members and prevent the kind of exploitation and abuse that Brunel and Epstein perpetrated. Follow for episode 5, The Royal Connection. Thanks for listening, guys.
A trial, to get some form of justice, and now that's gone. A trial would be some form of closure also, and that's taken away from us.